Hi, good evening, everybody. This is Meredith Lego, and I'm doing a series of videos on channeled teachings around Ascension science. A lot of the content that I'm bringing forward comes from conversations that I have with an Ascended Master named Ascended Master Hilarion, and I basically have been able to create a quantum entangled connection with him and tune into him from time to time on different topics around the ascension process and the mechanics of what goes into that. I've covered a lot of different topics with him, and if you're new to this channel, I highly encourage that you actually go back to the very first videos, because they build in content and knowledge over time. The last few videos I've done have been actually bringing teachings from a different group that I've been able to connect with, which isn't necessarily a group that I have a name for. They're basically a collective consciousness of different beings who have been offering some kind of words of wisdom for us going through the process. But I wanted to break from those videos for a little bit, and given the fact that yesterday, which was, let's say, May the 15th, we had a lunar eclipse, and it reminded me that I had asked in the past, probably about a year ago, Ascended Master Hilarion some questions about solar eclipses and summer solstices and stuff like that, talking about sort of the placement of the planets and the alignments and the implications that it can have upon energies that come through the ascension process. So I thought I'd share that given the timing of the recent lunar eclipse that we had. So this was asked in the June time period of 2021. But the first question that I asked was, what are the implications of today's solar eclipse? So at that time, we had had a solar eclipse. His answer is, the eclipse on today, or of today, is a portal gateway or opening of energies into the planet to continue awakening the masses from slumber and to enter the golden age. Worlds split in this process, not literally, but figuratively, as beings split into service to self versus service to others. This allows for a filtering of the next step in the ascension journey for Gaia and each being. So he did, in fact, reference the fact that this particular eclipse created sort of a portal or sort of an opening for more energies to be coming onto the planet that carry a certain, I have to imagine, a certain vibrational frequency that essentially is maybe perhaps connecting with some beings, but still may not be connecting to others. So as a result, it continues to create a split within sort of beings or humanity, according to those who would resonate with different vibrational frequencies on the polar opposite scales. And again, I would encourage you to go to some of the historic videos that I would have done on polarity. So a little bit later in the month, it was around the time of the summer solstice, and again, I asked another question about the significance of summer solstice. And I have to imagine, although it's not been confirmed through my questions, if that also relates to other solstice events or transition events that we have once a quarter. But in this particular case, I asked, what is the significance of the summer solstice? His answer is, the summer solstice is a key date when a portal is open that allows more natural energy from the cosmic central sun to hit Earth. You need to ensure, he didn't say like we, or it basically said need to ensure the right information is going to the right people, for it's tailored to meet the individual needs of what is in the best and highest good for soul growth. The higher self participates in allowing what energies will be received and downloaded to the individual being/human. Many on your planet at this time are hearing the calling and the codes to unlock and activate DNA within the body and cells. The codes come in the form of light and sound frequencies, which for many on your planet will be perceived as high-pitched ringing. So essentially, oftentimes when we've got a lot of energy and actual codes, information codes that are coming in from photonic energy, again, they carry a certain vibrational frequency in the form of sound. And just because we can't necessarily hear it doesn't mean that there's not sort of energies that carry vibrational frequencies around. And, certainly, there's a lot of animals out there like dogs that can hear a lot of stuff that's outside of our normal human hearing. But as this is happening more and more, and if you're really listening and tuning into it, if you're taking the time for quiet space, you can actually begin to hear the information come in, and it can actually start in the form of getting high-pitched ringing in your ears. So that's actually a sign that you could actually be starting to tune into the information. So oddly enough, as this experience, in my opinion, has been starting to increase on the planet, is the time that a lot of pharmaceutical companies have been pushing more medicines or therapies for, call it, I can't remember the exact term they call it, but when you get high pitch ringing in the ears, that likely is meant to be just a natural phenomena, as again the planet is just getting hit with a lot more higher vibrational energies and higher gamma ray energies. So it was kind of always meant to be happening at this time anyway. So something else that he said at the end of this particular session didn't necessarily have to do with the summer solstice, but I thought it was interesting. He made the statement, "I can't tell you what to do." And then he said deja vu and said, "You remember what you have already lived." So that's just another statement or affirmation that goes back to the fact that all time is now, and in many cases we're reliving or we're kind of actually going through the experience of living what's already happened. So there's a final outcome of where this is all going, and it's already happened, and our consciousness is really tuning into the experience of where it's all going. So that's basically kind of how he ended that particular session. So again, just wanted to pass that on because we did have a lunar eclipse, and it reminded me that I had done this about a year ago. So hopefully that adds to any sort of knowledge or knowledge basically that you're taking on your ascension journey. And if you resonate with the content, I encourage you to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, again, I would encourage you to actually start at the beginning with the foundations of the content, because they do build up over time. With that, have a great rest of your day. Thanks, bye.